What's going on, Fizz Nation? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for stopping by again this week. We got a little hump day review for you this week. Now, I realize that we are on a bit of a different day this week than normal. That's kind of by accident, but also kind of intentional. I had a bit of a hectic weekend, but I also got tipped off about the subject of today's video. The flavor we're talking about today came out officially on Monday, 2 days ago as of the release of this video, and I knew I wanted to get on camera with it as quickly as possible, but I already have this weekend's review planned out. I didn't want to wait a whole week, so we're doing it today, and I hope that's cool with you. See, there's actually like 4 new big flavors coming out this week. One I've known about since November, one I've known about since January, and one that I didn't know about at all until I got the tip that I got. So let's start with the one I didn't know about at all. This is Sprite Chill Cherry Lime. I knew nothing about this flavor until this past Saturday afternoon. It officially came out on Monday, and because of where I live, whenever the new flavor's out, it takes a couple of days for a lot of the local stores to get them in stock. Not this one. I went ahead and grabbed this bottle at my local Kroger on my way home from work on Monday. So what is this? So for starters, the label tells us that it is a lemon lime and cherry lime flavored soda with other natural flavors. And from what I've heard about this, it's also supposed to have a sort of cooling sensation. And apparently the cooling sensation comes from menthol. That could be a bit of a problem, because if I like this, it could become a pack-a-day habit. All joking aside, I really am interested to see what this flavor has in store for us. Cherry lime already sounds like a really good flavor, and with a sort of cooling sensation as you're drinking it, that would come in handy during the summer months. So I think it's time to go ahead and quit speculating and get right into the content you guys are here to see. Let's go ahead and pop the top, give it the old sniff test, see what it tells us. Okay, so it definitely has a bit of a sweet citrus scent to it. Not very strong, but it's pretty pleasant. I'm definitely detecting the scent of lime in this. And there is a sweetness to it that I'm assuming is supposed to be the cherry, but I'm not immediately getting cherry notes with that smell. But this does smell pretty unique. It's not really reminding me of anything that I might have ever actually had before. But as we all know, the sniff test is only gonna get us so far, so without any further ado, let's grab our trusty glass with ice and give it the old pour. And let's go from there. Alrighty, so immediately off the bat, we are seeing a sort of clear, milky, almost milky white type color here. Translucent. Get a load of that. Looks kind of like other things that we've had before, such as a couple of Mountain Dews that we've had, or our April Fool's flavor that we tried. We've definitely seen this color before. All right, Fizz Nation, you know what time it is. Time to go ahead and toss back, see what else we can find. Here's to you. Oh, wow. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm definitely tasting lime in this. Now, as far as the cherry flavor is concerned, it is there, but it's kind of buried underneath of the lime. And the interesting experience I'm having with this is as I'm searching for the cherry flavor, all of a sudden that cooling effect starts happening in my throat. It's almost like you had one of those wintergreen Cool Mint lifesavers in your mouth. It starts off subtle, and then after a few seconds, it builds until all of a sudden it's like, hello. And then as far as the experience is concerned, that just kind of becomes the star of the show. And now I've kind of forgotten what the actual flavor is because all I'm noticing is that cooling sensation. So then I have to take another sip, and it's the same thing all over again. Lime, cherry, and then slowly the AC gets turned on. Now my mouth feels really cold. Ooh, okay, now I'm kind of noticing something I'm not really sure that I like. Obviously, this is made with high fructose corn syrup, so you kind of get that little bit of a residue in your throat after you've drank some of it. The combination of that with the cooling sensation that's also happening in the throat, that's not really all that pleasant. That kind of reminds me of if I had a cold and I've got some congestion in my sinuses and throat, and I've also got a cough drop in my mouth at the same time. It's kind of what that's reminding me of. Okay, so what do I think of Sprite Chill? I'm not gonna lie, Fizz Nation, this is actually a bit of a mixed bag for me. As far as the flavor is concerned, while not particularly balanced, it is pleasant. So you've got like that acidic citrus along with just a little bit of sweetness right underneath of it. That's not bad. The cooling sensation that happens afterwards is interesting. I don't know that I can say that I think it's particularly pleasant because of the way that it just kind of creeps up on you from underneath of everything and then goes from subtle to in your face in the span of like 5 seconds. But I do not think that I like what happens in your throat when it comes to the corn syrup syrup and that cooling sensation happening at the same time. That kind of ruins it for me as far as the experience is concerned. This just feels like something that Sprite is trying to do that's new and innovative, but in reality just kind of makes things a little bit more cluttered and unclear as to what it wants to be. So in light of the fact that the flavor is decent, but nothing that particularly knocks my socks off, with an experience that starts off okay, but then just kind of goes down over the span of like 10 to 15 seconds. While I see and appreciate what Sprite was trying to do here, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and give Sprite Chill 3 out of 5 sips. If I can give some purely unsolicited advice to Sprite, dispense with the cooling sensation. I understand you're trying to do it as some sort of unique idea that introduces a sort of different type of soda drinking experience into the mix, but it gets in the way of the actual flavor. Ditch the chill factor and put a little bit more emphasis on the flavor. As far as the flavor is concerned, the promise is there, but it just gets very crowded very quick, and then you go from an interesting experience to a weird one. And unless you're looking to make a joke flavor, you do not want a weird experience. But as usual, that is just my experience, and I would love to know yours. Have you tried this? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. But that's gonna go ahead and do it for me, Fizz Nation. Thank you so much for stopping by again this week. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps us out a lot. If you wanna see more content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any notifications for future videos. I'm gonna get out of here and finish this up. You guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you Sunday.